Hello. Awesome start. I just might include that. I might just slap that in. All right. Hello, trash bags, meme lords, unknowing and scare newcomers. Welcome to 41.3 Radio and happy April 13th. I almost said 14th. As I'm sure you all know, today Homestuck has finally reached an end just in time for its 7-year anniversary. Or at least that is from your perspectives, because from our perspectives, it's a few days before, almost a week. So maybe we just got fucking blindsided with an Act 8 or something. I don't fucking know.
We don't know anything.
We do not. Anyways, before we get going, I'd like to take a quick moment to explain what exactly 41.3 Radio is. Much like the comic itself, Homestuck's discography, I cannot say that word, is absolutely massive. Now that the adventure through the comic is hopefully finished, we'd like you to join us in our own adventure, celebrating the lengthy soundtrack of Homestuck and the way it has evolved over the years. Every last bit of it, the original available soundtrack, every removed piece of music, and even the Homestuck Gaiden albums. What's Homestuck Gaiden? In short, it is a series of fan albums maintained and used by the Homestuck Music Team. Though the albums are not considered part of the official soundtrack, and therefore they will not appear in the comic. You may already be familiar with a few Gaiden albums, such as the Land of Fans and Music series, or the Tomb of the Ancestors. In the end, this will be a journey through about 900 musical tracks. For the most part, we will be trying to get through an album per episode, with a few exceptions for the lengthier albums, like Homestuck's Volume 5 and 9, which have over 50 tracks each. I suppose at this point I should be introducing myself. My name is Ty, also known as Tyson Kingsley, Narcocursivity, more recently known as Goddammit Ty, and please stop using my icon. I paid money to have that made. You're ruining my life. I do voice acting for Homestuck and other stuff, and I'm just basically a piece of garbage, and I'm here making this thing now. So, with me are my co-hosts, Quinn and Jeremy.
I'll go first, because I have it written down. Hi, my name's Quinn. I met these two nerds through Homestuck voice acting, which I still do on occasion. I'm a voiceover artist and a musician. You can check out my tracks on my SoundCloud. I also co-run a YouTube channel that parodies YouTube gaming culture with our video editor, Cole. Basically, I'm constantly making things online, so there's links to all my work and my social media in the description. I've never actually listened to the Homestuck soundtrack outside of the comic itself, so I'm going in fresh.
Is it my turn now?
It's your turn, big boy. Good. Do I
leave that in?
Good. We are. I'm leaving that in. Are you insinuating we've taken parts out? Because that's not a thing we've been doing. No?
There we go. We've talked
no
about this.
No editing whatsoever.
Okay, howdy. I'm Jeremy. I'm the black guy of the group. My icon here in this picture that you guys may or may not be seeing is indeed a bear, but I regret to inform you all that I am not a furry.
Jeremy's a furry.
I'm constantly being interrupted by everybody, and I hate it. Ty uses my icon sometimes, and I paid money for it, and he's ruining my life.
Cole, please please put this icon up on the TV screen for a few seconds.
Thank you, Cole.
Thank you. You're the best editor.
That'll actually be $30. That's how much I paid for the icon. Anyway.
So we're looking for a new co-host.
Alright, what about me? I also do voice acting. Hopefully going to be going to film school here in a couple months. I do voice acting, but most of my focus lately has been more on the actual editing side of things. I've listened to a couple of tracks from the Homestuck album, but there's also plenty that I just haven't heard. I like Kingdom Hearts and Persona, and I'm single, so...
Nice.
Great.
Nice.
Was I not supposed to say that?
No.
I enjoy long walks on the beach.
I was going to say something,
my favorite
but...
characters get murdered.
Same.
Well, yeah, that's right. I like Makara, so I apologize.
You should be ashamed.
Yeah.
I should. Yeah. You're bad at podcasting, Ty. You're supposed to keep the flow moving.
Oh, right. I thought you were still going. I forgot about that. This is the thing we're doing.
We are recording a podcast,
Yeah, that's right.
All right. I'm actually the only one here who's ever actually been in a podcast before, so...
Alright, anyways, you guys, by now you've probably deduced that we'll be starting off with the first album of the soundtrack, Homestuck Volume 1. Like many people say about the comic, it may be a bit of a slow start as we pick up with mostly NES-style chiptunes, and a variety of mixes of repeating tracks, but as we move forward, the music will show to have a grander variety of styles and providing artists.
And now we,
You
just listen to this shit?
And now,
You just didn't know what you were going to say after that, Ty? You just wrote the script and then you stopped?
Listen, when I'm I pre-plan things, I'm like, oh, I can improv this, and then I get there, and I'm like, I get stage fright.
You just hit the wall and you're like, alright, cool. I just told you guys.
Shit, I just dropped my ring. Now I have both my arms, and I don't have oh, fuck. See, I tried to make a joke, but...
I caught the joke.
I missed the joke. Oh, spoiler alert.
I've straight up lost my ring.
That's another thing.
Who cares? I don't even like that ring.
But no, that's another thing. There's a bit of a spoiler if any of you guys aren't caught up on Homestuck, because we're probably gonna be really bad at filtering.
Caught up as if the comic is still ongoing.
Yeah, it's over, Ty.
Fuck.
Stop living in the past, Tyler.
But we are in the past.
It's not like we recorded this at any point before 4/13/16.
We actually uploaded this the day it came out. It was
This is
crazy.
actually a Twitch stream. A Twitch scream.
It's not even Twitch. Like,
a Twitch scream?
Little did you know that there are 3 people inside of your headphones right now, just sultrily whispering into your ears.
Oh, you thought the reason that your left and right headphones were swapped was because of faulty wiring? No, I did that. That was me jacking with your wires.
Yeah, you know how sometimes like you gotta wiggle the cable a little bit and get it right in the right spot so you can hear everything. Like that's me. That's me.
That's giving Ty a massage.
I'm also
Tyler,
that rash you have like kind of on your like middle toe on the left foot.
Ty?
Yeah.
I am the one that's under your bed.
Yeah.
Who's ready to start some actual music?
Yeah.
What? Music?
Because music, yeah. I love you guys, but I just got off of work. I haven't showered or ate yet, so I was just straight into
We're leaving that in
land.
there. All right, we're going to start up the first track. This is Showtime, piano refrain, written by Malcolm Brown and performed by Kevin Regime.
Showtime. Ty, you have some fun facts here written about it. Drop them.
Oh, these are just notes that, now we're breaking the fourth
People want to
wall.
know this stuff.
Much like Homestuck,
This
I
is
guess.
the important part of the podcast, Tyra.
All right, Jeremy. Jesus fucking Christ. All right, so as you guys
That's a bad word.
probably,
We're going to jail.
as you guys probably know, assuming that you're here because you've read through Homestuck. Holy shit!
Why did you do that?
I'm gonna have Blake to crank down the noise there. Oh, there goes my pop filter.
Blake is gonna listen to this and he's gonna look at the waveforms and he's gonna be like, "Oh my fucking god, these assholes!"
That was the police.
Also, Blake is our sound editor. Big shout out to him. Cool nerd. He makes jams.
Let's talk about the song.
Yes, the song. So that was the
Waterworks.
very first song that appeared in Homestuck. It wasn't the first one written, but it was the first one that appeared, and it's sort of become considered as a theme to the comic by a lot of people. And it actually, what was it? It first appeared briefly, only the first half of it played in John Play Haunting Piano Refrain on page 190. I am bad at numbers. 1977. Great year. Probably a terrible year. I don't know anything about that year.
That's the year Ty was born.
No, it wasn't. I was born in 1990 Sonic.
Oh,
Only
no.
a portion of it played on the page, though. It also appeared again later on the page, You There, Boy, with the wayward vagabond yelling at John as he frequently does at that portion of the comic. I love how seamless this is.
I mean,
This is seamless.
So, in the original flash page of John Play Haunting Piano Refrain, the animation includes part of the sheet music of the actual track. I assume this is exact same sheet music that the performer used as part of the animation. So, little tidbit there.
Did it?
A little tasty tidbit.
Because I know the sheet music
Don't make
showed
that
up
noise.
in You There Boy. You could actually find Dad's piano and play the song and listen to the entire song in its in its entirety. And I know the sheet music played up there, but I did not know it actually appeared on Play Haunting Piano Refrain.
And
I
the
thought
last
maybe
little...
it didn't. Maybe I'm making that up. I haven't reread Homestuck ever.
Last fun fact here
Thank
that we
you,
have
Quinn.
written is it is considered as one of John's many themes, and legit, let me tell you, if you don't like John, you're not going to like this podcast, because that child has enough music to make his own album.
He
Like, I'm
literally
not
has his
kidding.
own album. It's called 1 Year Later. I think it's 1 year later.
See?
I'm great at
Yeah.
this. Look at this. I'm a good host.
Are you an
Not
excellent
excellent.
host?
Not excellent.
I'm
just
not
good.
excellent. No, not even good. I'm like
I am a mediocre host.
I'm like subpar.
Someone's got to be on the back end of the bell curve.
I hope there's at least one person that's still listening to this and just being like, "Wow," and then
I'll
they just stop.
add
And
in my dock scratch effects, and I'll just be like, I'm not going to actually add in the dock scratch effects, but I could. But I'll just be like, I continue to be a below average host. Just a little bit, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
just a little below average.
That joke was a flop, and I hate it. You guys make me feel bad.
Jared, I love how you keep referring to the notes. I probably should have mentioned beforehand that we weren't gonna directly mention the notes.
It's not seamless. You guys are bad at this.
One of the things that I
You're bad
did
at this.
notice about this song as I was listening to it is that it's very well produced,
It's a
which is
train
not
wreck.
I'll get to talk about that much more later on when the album becomes more electronic, when the soundtrack gets more involved. But this is just a person performing a piano piece. But it's very well produced. It's well mic'd. It's well mixed. The reverb on it, I'm not sure if that's an effect that they put on it later or if they actually performed in a space that had that reverb, but it was just perfectly tuned. It makes it sound very nice, very fitting for the Play Haunting Piano Refrain flash bit.
It really does. Honestly, that's probably one of my favorite tracks in the entire soundtrack.
Yep, we're peaking
Straight.
here. It's all downhill from here. The soundtrack
Yep.
just gets worse and worse, just like the comic.
I hope you like Harlequin, because that's our next song by Mark Hadley, and we have a lot of mixes of this song coming up. Okay, so Harlequin, that is Quinn's theme. Fun fact.
No, it's not.
It is Quinn's favorite
The
song.
song is
Say
more
that.
akin to me because it reminds me of Gamzee, and we all know.
You're
I'm
Gamzee?
okay with that
Oh,
being
gosh.
Jeremy's theme.
No.
Are you calling me a clown?
I'm just saying I didn't like the song that much.
We're gonna fight.
No, I mean,
We're gonna
it's
straight up
weird.
brawl.
I noticed a lot of strange things. For the first thing I
This
noticed,
is
the
about to be a
texture.
melee.
I'm going to review every single song that I listen to.
We're going to
I'm
64.
just letting you know that this is happening.
Yes, Quinn's the only one here that actually knows anything about music.
I do produce electronic music. The first thing I noticed was the texture. All of the synthesizers used were, of course, chiptune. I don't know if they're emulations or if they actually use chiptune hardware for this, but it kind of sounds like real hardware. It's very bit crushed. It's very crunchy and fuzzy, and it feels like actual hardware. It doesn't feel like pristine emulation on a modern computer. Like even the percussion. One of the weird things I noticed about the percussion, one, it's just white noise samples. The kick drum is white noise, the hi-hat is white noise. And it's only kick drum and hi-hat. It goes boom, 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 and that's the whole song.
Yeah, it's just a loop. Well,
Quinn's too good at this.
well, the scenes
It's
for
not super complicated.
well, also the scenes for it
You're
were
super
rather
complicated.
short. You know, like I mean, like it appeared when in John Enter, where Dad is first brought in and introduced as like the first quote unquote boss of the comic. It's actually also considered
Strife.
as a theme for him. Yeah, and it appears a few other times, like when the kernel spread is made, or sorry, prototyped with the Harlequin. So it appears a few times and it just kind of like loops shortly. So it was never really. It's a little weird listening to the actual track because it feels like it draws a little longer than it should, just because, again, it was intended to be a loop, you know, for the comic. A little fun thing for this one. Wait. Oh, nope, that's the wrong song. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, also we have notes. I'm terrible at reading them.
I thought you said we weren't going to mention the notes,
What?
Ty.
What?
You got mad at me for mentioning the notes earlier. No, you mentioned the
Well,
notes.
no, what? Fuck
I'm
it.
betrayed.
You ruined it. You broke everything.
I've been betrayed.
I'm sorry, guys. This is the finale. Hope you all
the
like
very
it.
blatant notes here say that we're reading off of and all looking at on a Google document. I'll give you guys the URL if
Don't
you
do
can
it.
read
you won't.
on
No, you
Facebook.
won't.
Only on Facebook, though.
What you don't know is that the entire podcast is completely scripted word for word.
It's insane.
It's elaborate.
There's so much scene direction. It's actually really bad writing.
Yeah, but it's great because it's so well. It's supposed to be bad, and it feels genuine.
It's supposed to come through in our acting, Ty.
Acting?
Why are there several paragraphs of scene direction, Ty?
Because I'm great.
All I have to say is, I like it. It's bouncy. It reminds me of Makaros.
I like it briefly, but I'm not a fan of it for a long
maracas?
time. I feel like it could use like another movement. Or a little variation, at least.
It's thematically consistent. It's very much trying to be an NES song, and when you work with those sorts of limitations, you don't get a lot of room to make grand multi-movement pieces. But I didn't like it that much. It's very, very repetitive.
Yeah. But I mean, it does feel appropriate.
I didn't
for
like
what
it
they
that
were.
much. It was really repetitive. I loved it.
I feel like it was appropriate for what it was intended for, but it's definitely not something like you can sit down and listen to for,
Yeah, for example, if you're making a podcast about the music of Homestuck and you have to sit down and listen to every track, it's not really good for that.
It's okay, because right here, I'm just going to pop in Harley Quinn again for another 10 seconds.
Do not...
Alright, this
Can't believe...
next track is Showtime, the original mix by Malcolm Brown. Good shit, good shit.
Oh, man, I'm really into that. One of the great things about chiptune, one of the things that really draws people into the genre, is that it kind of lays bare someone's composition skills in a lot of the same ways that a piano composition does. You don't get a whole lot to work with sonically, and almost nothing that you do with chiptune is going to impress on a sound level. So it's all composition, and that what it did with the chords in the beginning really impressed me.
Build-up was pretty great, too. I was just like... as it goes, it just feels like more and more is going on.
I think it's that.
I mean,
It did get a little chaotic to me at the end, which again, thematically consistent. This is a fight song. I thought the ending, however, just cutting everything off to that bass note, fantastic. I love that.
I don't actually have a whole bunch of music stuff to input like Quinn
Again,
does.
Same here.
But also, I did notice it feels like the melody of the showtime. Okay, it's my notes here basically say that early in development here, this was supposed to be the boss theme for Dad Egbert, and sort of this was kind of the original thing. And then they made the piano refrain from Showtime sort of based off of that. And I think that melody does sound a bit different, and that's kind of a fun little tasty tidbit there. It's kind of a nice fun thing to think about.
Right.
There's definitely similarities, and I might have just missed it and been listening to different parts and whatever, but I think it was kind of neat.
Now, Malcolm Brown actually originally submitted multiple tracks to this when Hussie asked the music team to provide some ideas for the first boss battle theme. He actually had 2 other tracks which you can find on his Tumblr under the Canned Corner tag, which I will link that at the end of the podcast. There's actually a lot of really good canned concepts on his Tumblr, so I definitely recommend checking it out. Anyways, this next song is actually it's not a removed track. When they compressed Homestuck Volumes 1 through 4 into a singular album, they got rid of this one as it reappears on, I want to say, Volume 4 as a full version, so they just cut this one out because it was just a shorter version. Anyway, this is Suburban Jungle, brief mix by Michael Guy Bowman.
I love this song. I'm so ready.
3, 2,
Wait,
1.
Jared, Jesus. Takes a...
You got, get the stuff ready beforehand.
Okay, I'm ready.
Could you put that in, please?
Okay.
No, but before Quinn gets into the actual music talk, let me just say, wow, and also, wow, no, but like, this kind of, for a long time, up until the actual track that played at the first page of Act 5, Act 2, I believe it was called just straight up Homestuck, for like almost the first 4 acts of the comic, which is like a major part of the comic, this sort of felt like, and it sort of served as like the main theme of Homestuck. My internet cut out.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. We had a bit of a technical difficulty, so
my internet died because I'm poor.
Yeah. All right, but no, going on. We were gonna talk about Suburban Jungle, the brief mix.
I love this song.
What I was gonna say.
I love this song.
Before my internet died, my apologies for cutting everybody off. Basically, what I was saying is, like, for the entirety of the beginning of Acts 1 through 4, and even not really much of Act 5, but pretty much up until Act 5, Act 2, Suburban Jungle sort of served as, like, the main theme of Homestuck, and up until the actual song titled Homestuck played in Act 5, Act 2, and it's just great to hear it again, because, like, it's just, I don't know, the melody, the harmonies, everything, it's just really there. It just gets your blood pumping, everything about it yells Homestuck.
It's the part where it feels like Homestuck really started.
Absolutely. Every single part of this song works for me. This song feels like your favorite pop song just came on the radio out of nowhere. That's what this song feels like to me, and that's how much I love it. Everything about it, I am 100%. This is basically my favorite song. This is a song that, like, this was one of the first complicated songs I learned how to play on the piano. That's how much of an impact it had on me when I first heard it. And, like, learning it on piano just made it more personal to me. I'm really into Suburban Jungle, and I want to listen to it again.
Well, don't.
Okay. Alright, but no, yeah, no, and then it came back again in Collide, where the Flash first starts, and it was just absolutely breathtaking and really brought you back, and it was just, I almost cried.
And that's what I mean by it feels like the main theme, because there are so many songs moving forward that just have the melody of bum, 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 bum. Like, it's a big part of Homestuck. Like, I love it. It's so great.
I could go into explicit detail about, like, oh, I love how the bass note in the piano mostly moves with the chord, but sometimes it lags behind. I love, like, what that does. I can go into detail about the texture of every synthesizer and sample used. I could go into detail about how the drum machine sounds in collaboration with everything else. It all works so well.
Quinn is like, I could punch you in the face while her fist is already like 3 inches away from your head.
I really could. I'm doing it.
So no, absolutely beautiful song, and we get to revisit it again in Volume 4 in its entirety.
Can I revisit it again right now?
Don't.
Well, yes.
Just to keep me from going on any longer, let's go on to the next song.
Okay, this is Aggrieve, the violin refrain. Did you guys actually get the song ready this time?
Oh shit, I should probably get it
Oh,
ready.
I thought you were going to list off. I thought you were going to list off the people who made the song. You know, written by Mark Hadley, arrangement was by Andrew Hussie, and mastered by Gabe Nezovic. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. Gabe Newell, our favorite musician. Gaben. All right, here we go.
You know, I really don't get how Rose plays the violin with no arms.
God dang it, Jerry. Like that's the joke you wanted to make.
See, here's the thing. Jeremy was like, all right, let me talk first when we come back, guys. And I'm like, oh, but I got a really good joke. He's like, no. I know exactly what to say. And I trusted you, Jeremy.
Was it not worth it?
I wanted to say, darn tootin', that's some good fiddling.
Oh, God.
All right.
But yes,
But yeah, legitimately.
You can actually loudly, you could actually swap the audio for those if you want. Quinn says, I was going to say, and then you could just put my joke in there. And that way everybody thinks my joke is funny and Quinn's joke was bad.
listen, I'll swap them out, and then I'll take her audio and, drop the pitch where it's like, I wanted to say it first.
No, don't even edit it. Just leave it.
Legitimately, though, that was some very skillful violin playing. I'm not very big on stringed instruments, or
strings.
especially bowed instruments. They're great for atmosphere, great for texture. I don't really like them as solo instruments that much. I'm not a big violin fan. That was actual really skillful playing. I'm not as crazy about the mixing on this one. It had the same sort of mixing as the piano refrain of Showtime did, with the reverb and everything. But,
Same, I agree with that.
I heart the Lalans a lot. So, basically, from a less technical standpoint, I don't know, if a theme or a song is heavily associated with a character that I really enjoy, I tend to enjoy the songs a bit more. That's probably why I Harlequin a lot, because a lot of variations of that sort of, play off of Gamzee, and I, like the Makaras, and
No, absolutely.
I really like this song because it plays off of
garbage.
That's for a different episode, okay?
God. But yes, Aggrieve, the violin refrain, sorry to interrupt, is, that is considered... I'm sorry. That is considered as Rose's theme, and if you know anything about Homestuck, or at least the music earlier on, is each character had a sort of instrument that represented them. This one being violin for Rose. So that's fun.
You
I
sound
really
like you're
did
talking to
enjoy
children.
that all of the characters had instruments that you made them play in the comic. I thought that was a really nice touch. I mean, being a musician myself, I loved seeing
absolutely.
that all of these kids, at least someone tried to make them learn an instrument. I mean, Jade's kind of god-awful at the flute, but she plays bass really well.
Oh, she plays bass fucking... yeah, good.
None of the alpha kids do anything.
Yeah, Malcolm Brown, actually, I want to say it was Malcolm Brown, mentioned that on a Tumblr post somewhere. I don't know. I'm not going to link it because I'm too
About
lazy.
the alpha kids?
But
About the alpha
no,
kids playing instruments?
no. He was mentioning how he was sort of disappointed that over time they kind of drifted away from the whole let's have each kid have an instrument. But at the same time, he said that that it kind of restricted what they could do with the music. As time went, not really holding down characters to instruments, allowed them to do a lot more for their themes. So they started playing more with leitmotifs. And such.
Yeah, having it be more based on the melodies rather than the instruments. I guess that was a better decision in the long run.
Yeah. And it did get one last hurrah, sort of later on with John playing Showtime or some...
on the organ? Organ
yeah,
Kind?
the big organ.
Yeah, I think that track was called Organ Kind. I could be wrong.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get there 8 years later.
Yeah. Anyways, this next song is Suburban Countdown, written by Michael Guy Bowman and arranged by Mark Hadley.
John ate that apple with no arms.
Stop. I made the same stupid joke about all the characters.
God dang it.
Yeah, the song's really quick. Again, I am 100% for the callbacks to Suburban Jungle.
Oh,
I could
absolutely.
listen to that song forever.
That's another thing I really love about the entire Homestuck album is just there's a lot of callbacks and they always feel really good.
Speaking of callbacks, I sort of really noticed here what you were talking about before with every single character, at least earlier on in the comic, sort of having their themed of instruments. I noticed, like, kind of the main melody here, and the main focus of all of the music was the piano, and just John's instrument. That's pretty neat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly... Sorry. I can't exactly remember the music track that plays, when Rose or Dave and everybody else gets in, but I don't... that'd be pretty cool if it also had their instruments too, but I can't remember off the top of my head, so I kind of look forward to sort of reliving those moments and figuring out what was going on and what was playing during those flash animations.
The thing about this song, like, it serves a very utilitarian purpose, I think. I mean, this is the end of Act 1. It's got to be something that builds that tension. It is actually the countdown on the thingamajigger to make the thing happen that kicks the story into motion. You can tell how much I remember of Homestuck from the years ago that I read it. It serves a very utilitarian purpose, and I think... I'm not going to say that makes the composition worse because it has a use, but you can really tell that this piece was made for that.
The build-up is there, just everything. I'm sorry, everyone. I don't have the music knowledge Quinn does, so I'm terrible at applying my opinion and making it sound intelligent and as great.
Look, I don't remember
we're
anything about Homestuck, so, like, y'all will have to tell me
there was a rock,
when I'm wrong about that.
There was fire, there was a kid with an apple, he kind of looked scared, and then, like, it exploded, it blew up the house, and at first we don't see if John actually survives or not, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was crazy that Homestuck ended at Act 1.
Yeah.
What if that's how the comic ended, just John being blown up, and that's just the end of Homestuck?
Yeah, and then he went on to create Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff the musical.
I hope that Homestuck ends like inappropriate time, inappropriate time for Ham. Where like, I hope Calliope's just summoning a giant ham to just wipe out the universe. That'd be great.
Oh wow.
Anyways, we did not exactly properly schedule this or.
We didn't expect the podcast to run this long, so we're actually going to cut it off here. We're going to do the second half of this album in our second episode.
We didn't do any planning at all. We did some planning, but we didn't do any
testing.
Yeah, so we just sort of dove straight into it. Much like the meteor dove into John when he died at the end of Act 1.
But no, we were also trying to get this out in time for 413. We got, make time for our sound editor, our video editor. We got our awesome friend Layton making the splash art you're actually going to see for this. So,
I'd like to say Blake and Cole, our audio and video editors respectively, I'd like to say this publicly on record in the podcast. We're so sorry.
Absolutely. Holy shit. So bad.
I would like to say to the listeners, as a bonus, next episode will probably, I'm not making any guarantees here, but will very likely consist of a bit of talk about the end of Homestuck. So if you're interested in that, come on by, give it a listen, download it on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating. And just
We're not having this on iTunes.
I know. I'm sorry, but I'm just practicing for when I become a famous podcaster.
I want you to write a review in the comments section.
Yeah. I
want you to tell me I'm pretty.
Quinn, you're so pretty.
You are pretty.
Thank you. Thank you.
But yeah, we will be finishing off this album on the next episode. Maybe even delving a little bit into Volume 2, mixing it up a little bit. And we're going to cut it off here, but stay tuned for some Tumblrs and Twitters and all that other cool stuff. This album was made by, let me scroll up so I can see the names, Malcolm Brown, Kevin Regime, Mark Hadley, Michael Guy Bowman, Andrew Huo, Gabe Nezovic, which I still don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, George Buzenkai, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, and Kurt Blakesley. I don't know anything I'm pronouncing right now. This is good job. No, we're the best. I'm proud of us.
This is good job describes this entire podcast.
Alright guys, but thank you for tuning in. We will see you next time on 413. I read the name wrong. 41.3 radio. Check us out next time.
Slow it down. We gotta actually plug our stuff before you end the podcast time.
Now, you see, that's the cool thing about post stuff, is I'm gonna record that later. That's some cool background.
We could do it now. I mean, we could do it now.
We could.
We're here. The podcast actually is in overtime, making an executive decision, which actually holds no water because you have the power to cut it out. but should we plug our stuff now or later, Ty?
Do we have time? Is that the question?
It doesn't matter if we have time.
You want to shower because you smell or something, probably.
Yeah,
Quinn
because
needs to sleep.
I am an adult who goes to work every day in a gross warehouse and I'm covered in dust. I barely managed to take off my pants. They were so tight, I got like a work uniform.
Jeremy, this is still an active part of the podcast. Please take that in mind.
Look at my shirt. You guys can't see it, the listeners. But it says my name on it. I'm an actual worker now.
God dang it.
Yeah, my shirt, I'm wearing my Durst Dreamer shirt because I commit to this shit.
Actually, just so you guys know, under my work shirt is indeed my Gamzee shirt.
I feel bad because I'm just wearing a gray t-shirt, which I can just pretend that
Pretend you're like a shirtless troll.
Yeah, I'm wearing a shirt though. You mean a signless troll? Like,
no, your shirt. It's a gray t-shirt, right?
Yeah,
it's a gray t-shirt. So you're a troll wearing no shirt.
I saw
Jeremy,
Troll Ty. I saw Troll Ty take off his shirt in the shower. Did you know Troll Ty's shredded? That he has an 8-pack.
I heard Troll Ty is ripped.
Yeah.
He also has a big. I'm sorry, that was inappropriate.
Have you not?
There are children listening.
Seen the video?
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to bleep out the D word.
You said the D word, now everybody knows what you said.
Alright, but no, my name...
I'm gonna have to bleep out the dick
guys,
word.
My name...
Follow me on Tumblr.
I was gonna do that, Jared, god dang it.
It's too late, I'm here. Follow me on Tumblr at Jeremy the Black, on Twitter at Jeremy is Black, not Jeremy the Black, because Twitter support will not give me the handle. I actually sent them a ticket and they said, no, basically...
Nice.
YouTube.com/nothing right now. I'll get you guys the channel later, whatever. Jeremy the Black everywhere, basically.
Very good, Jeremy. You can find me at Twitter, Anarchic Core. I don't really post much. I just, scream about things. And on Tumblr, I am Anarchic Corrosivity. A lot of people have trouble spelling that, so there will be a link or something to that.
And like I mentioned in my intro, I do a lot of things, and a lot of them end up online. So if you want to keep up with everything I'm doing all the time, follow me on Twitter at BackwardsFlow. You should absolutely follow me on Twitter because I'm constantly on Twitter. You can follow me on Tumblr, where some of the slightly more important things, but also a lot of total garbage gets posted, which is also backwardsflow.tumblr.com. Check out my SoundCloud for some music and some voice acting. That's soundcloud.com/backwardsflow. You should check out my music that's available for purchase on Bandcamp, and that's backwardsflow.bandcamp.com. That's original compositions. You can pick them up, and if you don't like the prices that I set for my music, send me a message on Twitter. I'll give you my songs. I don't care.
It's good stuff. And just a
Also, I've got more things that I do.
I need to close this up, Quinn.
I know. Also, please check out my YouTube channel that I run with our video editor, Cole, Game Thesis. And there's a link to that as well.
Quinn. So, we're a restaurant, and the restaurant's closing. You just came in, you ordered 4 burgers, 7 layers of fries, a milkshake, and 2 drinks.
God. But anyways...
None of them are for you. You're just picking it all up for a friend.
This is the least constructed podcast I've ever seen in my life.
This is
You
why
don't
we
see
needed-
podcasts, Ty.
Anyways, there will be more credits after this.
some visual podcasts.
Shut up. There's going to be a black screen. There's going to be credits. It's going to be great. You're going to see a bunch of stuff. You should click on them. You should
Can the
follow
black
everyone.
Screen be a picture of my face.
No, Jeremy.
I was gonna say the black screen's a picture of Jeremy.
Fine, it can be a picture of Jeremy.
I'm glad we're on the
But no,
same page.
if you can, please check out the Homestuck Bandcamp and purchase an album or two. Support the artists because they are all really great at what they do. And they've been doing this for 7 years and providing us a bunch of cool stuff. So go ahead and do that. It's cool. Yeah. Thank you everyone for listening. We will see you next time on episode 2.
Thank you so
Bye.
much for listening.
So hi, Blake. I guess, or Ty. I'm pretty sure Ty's gonna be listening to this. If you got... I don't know if you want to just throw in the rest of my thoughts, because I guess it's still technically recorded, but you guys couldn't hear it because my internet cut out. This is basically the cons of doing podcasts over the internet instead of being in person, because, you know, when you podcast in person, people don't just go and just, like, disappear for a couple of minutes there out of nowhere, so, yeah, I guess this is a little bit of a behind the scenes, a little one-on-one with Jeremy the Black, and I just want to say I love you, basically. Not you, Ty, but anyone who ever gets to hear this. I don't know if this is going to be at the end of the podcast. Ty, I would love it if you put this at the end of the podcast, but you don't have to. Maybe I'll upload this on my own channel as a little behind-the-scenes thing and put a little teaser and be like, hey, go check out our podcast. If you want to hear more people than just me talk, probably. This is weird. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for my internet to cut out. I don't know why it's been doing that lately. I think it's a problem with Uverse. They're really not doing their job now, are they? Do you think Quinn and Ty are playing the next song already? Who knows? I have a lot of background noise, and I apologize for that. I just trying to figure out the best settings for podcasting. It's all new. This is all a new experience for me. I bet noise removal for this is going to take like 30 minutes. Oh, look, man, and it's back.